Hey guys, hope you're well. So in this lesson, we're going to be looking at square and cubic conversions. Now, right now, you might be thinking, Kevin, what is that? Well, let me quickly explain. So in previous lessons where we looked at converting distance, we said that with distance, we get things like kilometers, meters, millimeters, and centimeters. And in that lesson, I also showed you a conversion that we use between all of them. So kilometers, then it was meters, then it was centimeters, and then it was millimeters. And between this one, it was 1,000. Here it was 100, and here it was 10. And we said that when you go, when you go this way, you would multiply. And then when you go this way, you would divide. But what about, I'm sure you've seen this in class, what about if we start having things like centimeters to the power of 2 or millimeters to the power of 3? Where do those even come from? Well, that is when we are busy with area. For example, if this is 3 centimeters and this is 2 centimeters, then if you had to work out the area of the shape, you would say 3 centimeters multiplied by 2 centimeters, which then gives us 6 centimeters to the power of 2. And you see, that's what this lesson's all about. How do you convert these kinds of things when there's a 2 over there? Or maybe you have a block, and this block looks something like this. And let's say this length here is 5, this length is 3, and this length is 2. Now, if you had to work out the volume of this shape, and let's say these are all in centimeters. Now, if you had to work out the volume, you would say 2 centimeters multiplied by 3 centimeters multiplied by 5, and that's going to give you 30 centimeters to the power of 3. Now, if they had to ask you to change this to kilometers, well, now there's a 3 there. And so I'm going to show you what to do when you have a square, when a square means there's a 2, and then a cubic, which means there's a 3. Okay, so that's what this lesson's all about. So here's our first example, and by the way, it's going to be really easy, the technique that we use. So forget about the 2's for now, okay? Forget about that for now. And what we need to realize is that we are going from meters, which is over here, to millimeters, which is over here. And we're going to have to go that way. So when you go from to the right, you multiply. So you're going to say 3 multiply by all the numbers that you pass. So you're going to do it at 100. Now here's the trick. Just multiply it twice. So just do it twice. Okay, so we did 100 twice. And then the next number that we would have passed would have been 10. But just do that twice, because there's a 2 over there. So you just do it twice. Let's go work this out. And so that's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be in millimeters to the power of 2. So that's all we're going to do. Normally, you would have just said 3 multiplied by 100 and then multiplied by 10. But because of the 2's, you're just going to do it twice. Okay, so here is our next example. Now there's a 3. Okay, so let's ignore that for now. So we're going to go from kilometers to centimeters. So from kilometers to centimeters. And so we are going to the right-hand side. And if you go right, you multiply. So we're going to say 1,5 multiplied by all the numbers that we pass. So we pass 1,000, but do that 3 times now because there's a 3. So you're just going to say times 1,000 times 1,000 again. And then we would have normally done 100, but now you're going to do that 3 times. There we go. Now this is going to be a huge number. Wow, it's a big number. 1.5 times 10 to the power of 15. And then you're just going to say centimeters to the power of 3. Okay, here's another one. So here we're going from millimeter, which is over there, and we're going to meters, which is over there. Okay, so we're going to the left-hand side, so we will divide. So you're going to take this number, so 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're just going to divide by all the numbers that we pass. So we pass a 10, but now do that part twice, because we have a 2 over here. And then there is 100, but just do that part twice. There we go. And that'll give us 15. So that'll be 15 meters to the power of 2. Here's our next example. So here we're going from meters cubed to centimeter cubed. Okay, so you can just think of it as going from meters to centimeters. So we're going in that direction. That means we will multiply. So we're going to say 45 multiply by all the numbers that we pass. So that's only going to be 100, but you're going to do that 3 times because we have a 3 over there. Okay, your teacher might, instead of saying it like that, they might just say 100 to the power of 3. Doesn't really matter, it's the same thing. If we're to work this out, you end up with 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that would be centimeters to the power of 3.